Leo, welcome to your intimate tarot reading. I hope you are well. I hope you are fabulous. If you're new to the channel and you'd like to know why I read intimate tarot, specifically sexual energy, it will be outlined for you in the description box. Heads up, if you are someone who is sensitive around the topics of sexual energy, sexual identification, sexual description, go ahead, feel free to pass this one up. I won't be offended. I will see you in 2 weeks for your next in-depth or for your Sunday shuffle. No offense taken, none whatsoever. I don't want you to watch anything that will come into conflict with your particular morals or beliefs, because you will take nothing from it other than perhaps frustration. And I don't want that for you. And that includes any tarot of any type. Okay? More so with intimate tarot, as it can get very sensitive, yeah? So, there you go. In the general sense, I believe intimate tarot, sexual energy in the general sense is part of who we are as individuals. Thus, it stands to reason, can affect our relationships, and therefore it is worthy of looking at. I operate from the philosophy of the more you know? That's it. Basic rules apply, more so with these sensitive subjects, so take what resonates, leave what does not, reverse energies as it applies. That's it. Okay? All right, let's get cracking. Show me that Leo sexual energy. Show me. One last round of happy birthdays to all the Leos out there, yeah? We're still technically in your season for the next couple of days, and then we roll on into Virgo season. But if you're indeed that late season Leo, happy birthday to you. And for all Leos, I hope that your birthday was fantastic, joyful, and resplendent. Show me that Leo sexual energy, please. 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 I have modified the board to do away with the past. I'm not interested in past sexual orientation or past sexual relationships. We're just going to go right into present day and into future orientation. And I've also included a new position called shared new, so I can better differentiate between shared and new. Okay? More of an allowance, especially if that new is coming through and I'm seeing endings. Makes sense, right? All right, for your side, Temperance. Okay. And the Chariot, beautiful. I love that. Okay. Okay, some tension here. We got some sexual tension. But you're showing me a lovely sense of patience, and I'm moving forward. And I like the way that the Leo I'm looking at today, you perceive sexual energy as something that's healing. I completely agree with you. And that you would like to move forward into a suggestion of, this part of me is part of my spiritual self, and I would like to move forward in it in terms of patience and healing and compassion in our sexuality, compassion with our bodies, healing and forgiveness coming together. They're saying they got 2 knights on them, Knight of Cups and Knight of Coins. That's very interesting. So their emotional and sexual expression is here. It's interesting because somewhere between the fluidity of water and the slower pace of earth, their energy would like to move towards you. What's shared is 9 of Wands. That's sexual frustration. That is. It is. And maybe that's why you're showing me healing and a willingness to heal in this particular way. How interesting, yeah? Next several months. Page of Wands, Page of Cups. Wheel of Fortune, so tentative. So very tentative. Ah, there it is. That's what I was waiting on. That's what I was waiting on. Okay. I was like, there's such a tentativeness around this. Beautiful energy, don't get me wrong. But there's a certain level of trepidation surrounding it. Nervousness. Okay. But sincerity. And when I see sincerity at that level from you, from them, and it's like, yeah, there's something to work with here. And there is something to work with here between the two of you. It's looking like I got 2 very shy pages trying to figure out how to reacclimate to this. So either you two might be rediscovering your sexual energies towards each other, or it's being a minute. And let me tell you what I mean by that. Death is in the obstacles. For some of you, literally that person is a Scorpio. Whenever I see a power card in the obstacles, I'm obligated to bring it up. It doesn't have to be point in fact true, but for some of you it might be. So there you go. But yeah, and then the Fool opening back up, but slowly re-exploring those sexual energies in a small way. I'm not saying you two are slamming bodies. It doesn't look like that to me. And yes, I can absolutely see that. No, but it's more like Wheel of Fortune. Time has passed, and I got 2 very shy pages trying to reintroduce themselves, I believe. You're saying that you have learned and grown a lot, and I believe you, sexually and otherwise. That's very beautiful energy. You're saying I've learned a lot. I've really upped my own particular ante in regards to my sexual self, my emotional self, and my healing self. Some of you are literally healers. I don't know why that's coming across, but it is. In the Chariot, the boldness of one's heart. Cancerian energy. We also have Sag here, Scorpio, like I said, and That's the most prominent energy, but it may not mean anything. There's this like, interesting, but cautious, slow. Okay? I think this is that type of person where their heart moves swifter than their body. You know what I mean? That means they could be water-oriented, somebody who approaches with their heart first. Okay? In other words, their sexuality is tied to what they feel, which is point and fact true for a lot of people. Very rarely do you actually meet somebody who can separate them totally. But yeah, they're like, well, my heart moves before my body. Okay? It's interesting. Obstacles, getting back to that. There might have been an ending here between you two at some point on the timeline. Again, I'm not looking at the past. Could be that it transformed over time. Wheel of Fortune is here. Those couple of shy pages, these are all indications. Okay, let's take a look. Let's take a look. Show me that. Temperance, please. Of course, if you're a channel regular, you will recognize Big Red, the tarot deck of sexual magic, respectively. Show me Temperance, please, for Leo. Show me Temperance, please, for Leo. Oh. Some of you at the very 21st, for some of you, might be important, FYI. And there's a little bit of confusion about how to get this thing generated. Okay. Two of Swords, the Ace of Pentacles. There's the real-world authentication of doing something. Not quite sure what just yet. It's, for some of you, it's being worked out. So, time has indeed passed between you and this person. What's shared is sexual frustration, blockage, that kind of thing. We'll get into it. All right, let's see. Temperance for you. King of Wands, that's you, honey. Ace of Wands. Oh, beautiful. Judgment. Oh my gosh, honey, stop. That's so beautiful. I love this. I love this for you. There you are, literally the kings. Of course, as we know, the fixed signs are the kings, respectively. And there's your master symbol with the Ace of Wands. Goodness me, your energy is so beautiful. It's so appreciative of itself. It really has come a long way, huh? You really are showing me strong indicators of this is who I am, and I know this. I'm in possession of my own particular magic, my own particular mojo, and your mojo is beautiful, honey. I love it. You've really tempered yourself over time. Some of you are double, triple, even quad fire. Like, we're talking Leo Sag here. And that's beautiful. Some of you have really taken time to understand your fire, what it means to you, developing it. You have, I'm sure, developed and underdeveloped elementals, developed fire signs, underdeveloped fire signs, developed water, underdeveloped water, earth, air, so forth. This is, I'm looking at a developed fire sign, Leo. This took time. Temperance is literally over you. It took you a long time to understand, discover your sexual energy, what purpose it served you, how important it is to you. You don't neglect it, and you're not one of these idiots that's like, oh, my sex isn't important. Yes, it is. The person who says sex isn't important is usually the one who needs to work on their sexual energy the first and foremost. That's what I see all the time, more often than not. Everyone who says, well, it's not important, that's usually the first person who needs to take a look at what's up. And you're like, I know what's up. I've taken a lot of time to understand my sexual self and how it actually makes me me. And I'm not shy about my passion. I'm very warm. That's part of passion. Okay, being warm, generous, embracing. These are fire. That's not water. That's fire, honey. And I say, I'm generous with my warmth, and I know it's important to me. I don't deny it. It's part of who I am, and I'm very mature with it. I've grown into my fire. Very good. In judgment. Some of you had some really intense lessons throughout your life. This wasn't yesterday. Throughout one's life, throughout this Leo's life, about sexual maturity and what it means to you and how it heals you. So it's not just some fun recreational activity. You're like, I understand my sex serves a purpose and it's important to me. It's also precious to me. Yes, I agree. Sex is sacred as well as spiritual. Temperance. Sex is a healing element. I completely agree with you. If you want to bond with somebody in that way, sex is best perceived this way and felt that way too. It's not just something that, well, we're killing time, You're saying sex needs to be a little bit more than killing time, and a very mature Leo knows this. You're affectionate with that person who you know is your person, but you're not just like that every day. It's when it feels right to you because you're connected to your person spiritually. A mature Leo understands this. An immature Leo is just like, I can have sex with you, I can have sex with you, I can have sex with you. You see what I'm saying? All signs have pros and cons. It's not a knock on anyone. That's just the way it is. But no, my point is that it's so resplendent here. I'm not saying you're perfect. No, not at all. I'm just saying you are very in tune with yourself, and that's beautiful. You can't put a price tag on that level of comfort with your sexual energy. I wish we could all aspire to be so cohesive with it. And that's one of the reasons, point in fact, why I do intimate tarot, is that people have a very strong comparison of what, well, that's going on. And I'm over here. And the more we understand our sexual energy, we can understand how we can have such a strong bond with somebody, but it can be an absolute mess sometimes. You know, especially here. I can't speak for other societies, honey, but in American culture, we're like, you know, oh, body this, body that, body this, body that. But when it comes to actual sex discussion and what it means, we're so underdeveloped here. It's very hypocritical. Be sexy, but when it actually comes time for sex, nobody knows what the hell they're doing. You know? And blame the world of porn on that. Show me Chariot, please. Show me Chariot. And that's not an opinion, honey, that's studies. You know, the saturation of pornography being what it is, people are completely out of touch with their sexual spirituality. You know, it's become so mechanical. Ugh. You know? Anyway, sorry, that's my soapbox, and that's a whole other lecture. Show me the Chariot, please. You know me, honey. You know you love my lectures. Many of you have already fast-forwarded. Okay, you can put it back on resume now. Moving it forward, Eight of Swords, the Three of Wands, the Moon. Okay, so you want to move all this deliciousness in you, and there's a yearning in you. There's a longing in you. Okay, and it longs to go to a particular direction, but you haven't given it authority yet. So I like to see that your sexual energy is so much very in alignment with you. That's beautiful. That's tops. But you're showing me I'm longing and I'm yearning and I'm waiting and I don't quite know what it is. I don't quite know what it is I'm longing and yearning for. It's somewhere in there within you. Okay. And for some of you, it's even a secret to you about what it is that you're waiting for. You don't quite know. It's even a mystery to you. But your sexual energy is pulling in a particular direction. It's yearning to go somewhere with the Chariot. In other words, it feels restless. There's something pulling you like the tides of the moon. It speaks to you. It calls to you. There's a waiting element here with the Three of Wands, Eight of Swords. You can't quite see it, but you can kind of feel it, you know? And it's like, am I just procrastinating? Am I just putting myself off by not moving forward? Okay, it's looking like you're kind of talking yourself out of it even while you long for a direction at the same time. It's like, well, because it's not obvious, I'm not going to allow myself to move forward. And there's something there that says it could be winding up on your shores relatively soon, and you can't quite put your finger on it, but you're not really moving towards it either. You want to be ready, but it's kind of like, I don't know what to be ready for. You feel something, and I'm sorry it's so vague. It kind of speaks to you in the night, or in your downtime, in your quiet time. And it's kind of not obvious to me, Christina, so therefore there's nowhere to go. Not yet. I can feel I'm being pulled, but I'm not going to get in the car and start it if I don't know where I'm going. That's where you could do with a bit more intuition, honey. Because that longing's there, it's in place. It wishes to make contact with somebody who can embody this energy with you. I think you know. Let's see, it might be this person. Are they coming toward you? They are packing 2 knights. Show me that Knight of Cups, please. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Oh, I just caught that Knight of Wands with my legs. Some sexual tension there. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Show me that Knight of Cups. Ah, there it is again. Death. Twice. Heavy Scorpio energy here. Man, it sucks. This person's energy used to come towards you, and it was very warm. It was warm when it was warm. They recognized some sort of relationship with you that they said, if it's not transformed, it must go. Heavy Scorpio energy here today. And that's not a knock on cross-watching Scorpios. It either is or it isn't. And that Leo must be important to you, otherwise you wouldn't be cross-watching. So don't get all edgy with me. Okay, I have no problem with cross-watching. It's just the comments are often contradictory. I don't care about them. They suck. I wish the worst on them. And why are you cross-watching? You're either learning, and you want to learn, and you're open-minded to critique and different points of view, or you're not. And if not, you got some work to do. Okay, the Knight of Cups, someone who used to emotionally and possibly sexually express themselves to you. I can tell that they are heart forward, okay? In other words, their hearts are long for the sexual ride. They will not give unto their sexual energy unless they are emotionally secure. So as far as I can tell, the sexual energy with this person, it was not transmitted, it was not fully expressed. It sucks because they felt the potential of the warmth with you, with the sun here. This is sexual warmth. It feels good. It's like slipping into a warm bath or having your best blankie around you and your person. It's just that touch and that warmth that you experience with somebody at the same place at the same time. And it's like no other thing. It just feels safe. And it's that feeling that you know that you're both being warmed at the same time. It's so beautiful. It's pretty much how it's depicted in the picture, you know. Four of Wands, some sort of relationship energy, however you two defined it. Could be a commitment, doesn't have to be. The idea is my energy plus your energy equals this particular dynamic that constitutes a relationship, however it is you label it. And they said, well, they pointed, or used to point, their emotional and sexual energy towards you until it stopped. The relationship stopped, and there the sun went with it, the warmth too. Okay? Again, we should not be surprised by this. After all, death was already in the obstacles, so we knew already, I set you up for this, that this was something that had already ended. But it's like we're opening a case here. And time has passed, so I don't know how much time that is, but it's enough for this connection to be recognized as over, not once but twice. So you might even have two endings with this person. You know, that's a fair amount of time. Okay. But yeah, no, when it was warm with you, when they expressed themselves to you, it felt amazing. They loved it. But there's something here that says my emotional energy with Leo was not secure, therefore the sex wasn't. The Knight of Pentacles, please. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Whatever it is, that relationship did not meet out. It would not sustain, or it would not stay. The sun wouldn't sustain. Show me that Knight of Pentacles, please. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Show me that Knight of Pentacles. Your Chariot, honey, looks so restless. And while you understand and you're in touch with your fire, your emotional energy is restless. It's longing for something or someone, and you can't quite define it. You can feel it around the edges, but you haven't actually moved forward in progress. Not yet. Okay, Three of Swords, Ten of Cups, the Nine of Wands. You know, there's heartbreak here, there's pain here, there's fear of rejection here. Nine of Wands in this deck is pretty much straight to the point, which is why I like it in this one. It gives a better idea of what's going on here. So from this person's point of view, the sexual energy, Nine of Wands, is here twice. So they have a very strong reflection of the dynamic you two shared. There was constant resistance in the physical movement. Okay. In other words, I don't feel like this person could get on the same page with you. Physically, they would like to have given themselves to you, but again, there was a lack of communication regarding emotional stability. What does this mean? It keeps coming up for them over and over again. I have certain innate feelings towards you. They're quite strong, and I try to point my knights at you. I try to give this to you, but something keeps coming up in the form of blockage. And every time it comes back to feelings. The idea here is the Nine of Wands. Somebody has said too much by one person's estimation, and from the other person's estimation, the other person hasn't said enough. So here we have an equal give and partake of, you said way too much, I wish you hadn't said that. And the other person's like, the problem is that you haven't said enough. We wouldn't have blockage if you spoke more. How are you feeling about this? Because this person's telling me that they've been emotionally rejected in this dynamic. They don't feel emotionally secure. It keeps coming up. Otherwise, they said, you and I, there would be no tension in our sexual energy. I would not fight you on this. I would love to give you the best parts of my sexual self. I would love to give you my sexual energy, no problem. My emotionality for you is already in place. It's much faster than my sexual energy. So just give me what I need and I can give you my sexual self, right? And it was combative. There was always, and even if, honey, the sexual engagement was between you two was on, it was kind of withholding. You know what I mean? It wasn't fully expressed. The sexual ease is what I'm talking about. You can have all this energy with somebody, but the actual expression of it may not be easy if the emotional exchange is not at the same place, or the sexual experience isn't at the same place. So you can still have sex with somebody, but it still feels off. And that's because the bigger parts of you aren't matching up in the same place at the same time. So whatever there was, whatever engagement this was, whatever it looked like between you two, it's kind of like, man, we have this amazing energy between us, emotionality, the sexual chemistry, but when it actually comes time to mix and join ourselves bodily or from the heart space, somebody's more emotionally open, the other person's not. Somebody's more sexually open, the other person's not. I feel like we're cross-sectioning somebody's needs here. Somebody's needs are not being met. Somebody's needs are not being met. This is what's lacking. This is what's lacking. And somewhere in between the two, you two had a rough history of trying to bring things together. Okay. Despite all the magnificence that flows between you two. Let's keep cracking. Show me this Nine of Wands, please. It's shared. It's here. They recognize it too. There's like my physical energy for you, my sexual energy for you is way behind because my emotional needs aren't being met. That's all they're telling me. Okay. Otherwise, I said they would not have ended this relationship. That's all I got. Show me that Nine of Wands, please. Show me that Nine of Wands. I'm not saying you didn't love them, but for some reason, your Chariot, which again is water, Cancerian specifically, it goes into a place of confusion, waiting. It's like, are you waiting for your feelings to catch up? What do you need? What do you need for your feelings for the situation to catch up? Because a part of you longs for this. You know? A part of you longs for this. But it's kind of like, if I can't see where it's going, I really don't want to try to meet it there either, you know? I mean, honey, you're not going to know until you find out. Yeah, otherwise, your energy is completely on point. It's so in touch with itself. But the emotions, part of you stays behind. And there's Seven of Swords, the Devil. See the Queen of Cups. There's okay, so this is where somebody was like, I don't want to talk about my feelings. Okay, it was a fearful thing, the Devil here. Okay, and that added to the sexual tension. Like I said, somebody was carefully, and about carefully, the sexual tension here is that it ran negative as opposed to positive. In other words, I would like it to be free-flowing between us, but there's some things that keep me from allowing that free flow to happen, and that is emotional security. And here it is coming up again, okay, as the point of frustration. Somebody's like, you're talking too much, you've said too much about feelings. And the other person's like, you haven't said enough. Otherwise, there would be no tension between us, sexual or otherwise. Seven of Swords, the Devil. Somebody does not like to talk about their feelings. They avoid it like the plague. It's a fear thing. Okay, it's fear. It's fear of emotional expression. It's a fear to have the fullness of the heart. It's not an accusation. It is what it is. But you both shared it and felt it to some extent. I told you, it's kind of like one blocking begetted the other blocking. Somebody's emotional needs weren't met, so they blocked the physical exchange. Or at least, bare minimum, they wouldn't fully get to it. Part of them always held back, even if they were sexually expressive with you. And you, your lovely fire, was on point. It's warm, it's generous, it's attracted to this. You say, you know, you're very mature with your passion, and I believe you. But your emotional side, I see it as being held back. Despite longing. Despite the longing. It's like I'm waiting, but I don't know what I'm waiting for. And because I can't see it, I can't allow myself to give to it either. You know? And that's just not how emotions work. Just because you can't see the outcome of a connection doesn't mean you can't feel your feelings. But if we have a fear of real emotional depth here, we're going to have not underhanded, but unmindful tactics of holding back. Okay? So that's something to be aware of. Seven of Swords and the Devil. That's a little chronic. That's a little too chronic for me. Okay? Especially with the Nine of Wands. What is the Nine of Wands, guys? It's the insanity card doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. Your person saw it here. And that's what's caused the pain. And otherwise, what should have been an emotional equilibrium of experiences. So you two might have experienced this a couple of times. Because like I said, I did see death here twice. You might have, because of your chemistry, because of your uniqueness, fondness, or more than attraction. You know, and judgments attached to you as well. you two might have experienced something like this before. You know, got together, separated, similar circumstances. You might have flipped roles at one point. Okay. Came back together, more or less the same dynamic, separated again. Okay. But yeah, so long as somebody here is like very afraid of developing, this is feeling development. So long as, not just the expression of one's feelings, but actually developing feelings. So long as we are afraid of developing feelings, this blockage will remain. Okay. Okay, next several months, let's see it, because I see the careful kind of unfolding of trying to express. Page of Wands, Page of Cups, little guys. Little guys. They're little guys. Okay? So they're going to have little conversations. Both, one says, I'm trying to be open. Okay, I'm curious, I'm keeping it light. The other one's like, okay, I'm trying to keep the heart space open just a little bit, not too much. They're trying to talk, and that's what pages are best equipped to do. If you see a page and you see two of them, just try to let them do their job. Okay, talk together and see if they can work things out at a small way first before we pile all this responsibility on top of them. So show me that Page of Wands, please. You know, you have, honey, Leo, a very healthy sexual energy. Very healthy. It's that emotional energy where you feel the need to hide it and then it kind of long for it at the same time. So those parts that we hide, we often ultimately end up longing for them too. Their emotional distance is here. You have the ability to move it forward, otherwise that chariot wouldn't be here. So if you don't trust emotional development with this person, then it's best left undone. Let's put it that way. But if you, in the general sense, if your emotions are always farther back than, say, your fire, and this person is emotions forward, you can kind of see where you two need to meet more in the middle, and that's if this connection still means something to you. Otherwise, I wouldn't try to re-engage it. I really wouldn't. That's just really advice, because what they want is clear, and what you are willing to do is here, but you have to know at the emotional level that you want to expand in it. Ace of Swords, the High Priestess, the Knight of Pentacles. Okay. Yeah, okay. All right, hold on. Let's see that Page of Cups real quick. Someone's sexual energy, the High Priestess, but also their emotional energy has been slowly pointing them back in this direction. Curiosity and a strong truth. With that Ace of Swords, we're listening to ourselves. Show me this Page of Cups, please. Oh, aha! So you are switching roles, but this time it looks like it's more productive. Oh, very good. I was about ready to say, even though they had a Knight of Pentacles attached to them, I didn't see it. I saw it as you. I saw it as you as the Page of Wands. Slowly over time, with that Knight of Pentacles, you have come to form certain solid truths. And you will continue to do so, listening to yourself with that High Priestess, which is, and this is my favorite combination, by the way, the High Priestess and some sort of representation of upward development sword, i.e. Ace of Swords, King of Swords, Queen of Swords. So next to the High Priestess is one of my favorite combinations. You should be both intelligent as well as intuitive. They should live side by side. They are not mutually exclusive and they are not enemies. Someone who is walking around with common sense, great. They still need intuition. Somebody's highly intuitive. If you ain't got common sense, honey, you're still going to have problems. So somewhere in between the two, we should all strive to exist. Okay. I see you, and you are really doing a heck of a job navigating both truth as well as intuition. Knights of Pentacles, you are coming around to open up towards this because it feels right. Not because it feels wrong, but because it feels right. Okay? That part of you that kind of is like, why is my emotions behind? I don't know if I can fully trust this because I can't see where it's going. I'm blind when it comes to this particular subject, or I'm blind. Emotionally, I'm blind towards this particular connection. And I don't know why. Okay, but you long for it. And it's kind of like I can't emotionally open up towards it, Christina, because I can't see where it's going. So what purpose does it serve? I don't know. What purpose did it serve for you to sexually point yourself at it too? For that same reason. I mean, you know what I'm saying? You didn't question your sexual energy towards it. And you still didn't know where this connection was going to go. That didn't keep you from trying to engage in it. So Why don't you just allow your emotions to flow in that same direction of trust? If you trust yourself so much with your passion for this person and your warmth towards this person, okay, and your sense of patience and healing with it, why can't you trust your emotions to go in the same direction at the same time? Because you've already admitted to me you don't know where this connection's going, so why would I put my emotions into it? So why would you put your fire in it for that same reason, honey? See what I'm saying? It works both ways. If you can trust your fire to go in this direction, and it seems like you do, why would your emotions be any different? It's a leap of faith. And guess where I see a leap of faith? Future orientation. You know? And that's what I see you doing. You see you doing a heck of a job. Time has passed. How much I could not say. We'll take a look at that Wheel of Fortune in a moment. But really listening to yourself intuitively about opening up towards this, and then I see them doing it in return. This is the person who said they moved on from you. But they are also willing to heal with you. It's looking like they need mental healing with you, as well as emotional healing, but they're open to it. So you opened with Temperance. They have Temperance now. You're showing me Knights of Pentacles, but emotional. Okay. That's what they were asking for to begin with. So you two, there's that cross-section. You two are trying to do a better job of meeting in the cross-section now. Like I was kind of roughly pointing out earlier. There you are. You're trying to meet somewhere more in the cross-section. Excellent. Very good. Good. They're saying, okay, even though I moved on and I said I had ended this, I'm willing to open my heart back open towards it if you want to really heal with me. There are some mental things, however, this person's showing me sword over their heart. So they have some thoughts they need to work out with you. About the sexual energy, how come that part was so easy for you, but not the emotions? Okay. When I was all but begging you to open up towards me, the sexual energy wasn't a problem. It was so warm and it was so generous, but not the emotions. What's up with that? So they need a conversation, in other words. And you're listening. You're listening. You're hearing it, and I see you responding. That's beautiful. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune. Now switched over to the Casanova Tarot. Okay. And like always, Leo, honey, you guys can give me a little bit of a sensitive reaction. Sorry, it is what it is. I do these every week without fail. There are some collectives who get very sensitive when I suggest this is the work we need to do, and everybody needs work. And if you're a human being thinking, hey, I'm great as I am, I don't need any work, that's a Five of Swords, and it's a fallacy. No. What I'm saying is normal, healthy work that needs to happen on both sides. So, if anyone's offended by the suggestion of, oh, I need to bring a more improved self to this situation, and you're automatically pissed off with that, I can't help you. Okay? And it's just disappointing. Sometimes I will see fantastic readings for Leo. I mean, beautiful, stellar, it's amazing. But as soon as I suggest, oh, this is where we need to improve, wah! Okay, it's not just you, but I am saying I have seen it before. Everybody gets improvements. Okay, that's life as I understand it. If you're a realistic Leo and you've done real spiritual work and real shadow work, everything I'm describing makes perfect sense to you. Okay? Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. And it's not just you. If you want to feel better about it, I have other collectives that get a little on that side too. Okay? I'll go ahead and name them. That's fine. I do this every week. Pisces can get a little sensitive. Yes. Cancer can get a little sensitive. Yes. You know? Even my Scorpios can push back on me. And Taurus typically doesn't, but their last round, yeah, they did. It's funny, I usually don't get that kind of reaction from them, but that last one hit a nerve for some of them, honey. Oh my goodness. Wheel of Fortune. Show me that Wheel of Fortune, please. Show me that Wheel of Fortune. And in case you didn't catch on to this, I kind of do the real stuff. I don't do the 10-minute, here's a quick fix bullshit. I just don't do it. I do the in-depth stuff, guys. Anything else to me is like, what's the point? You know? So we have a great map here. Let's use the map. That's why we're here, right? What's the point of going to therapy if we're not going to put the work into it? What's the point of watching tarot if we don't want to get something real out of it? Okay, there's those pages again. Guys, it's bingo bango. It's done. This is in the bag. This is in the fucking bag, Leo. You got it. Trust me when I tell you this. Actually, it's not just you. You both got it. You both got it. And now you're showing me another page. The both of you. The Wheel of Fortune. We're talking about Ten of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups here. If we reinvest in this with you and your new level of insight and readiness, them with their willingness to re-engage, okay, in actual healing, emotional and sexual, and otherwise mental healing also seems to be a priority for this person in terms of I need some facts. Okay, so they might be very intelligent, or that's just how their body processes or their brain processes, I should say. So that Wheel of Fortune, the Page of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles, and Ace of Cups. You may not see it, but the both of you kicking it off with both your pages in small, respectful ways, this is where it could go over time with the same level of insight, reciprocity, sharedness, steadiness. Okay. This is where it could go. Something very solid. And that's over time with the Wheel of Fortune. Stability, foundation, possibly even wealth. High sense of resourcefulness. Ace of Cups with all the love of the heart of two people to go into it. And it starts off with these pages. Or I should say re-engages with pages. You both have learned some things. I'm seeing time having passed not once but twice for the both of you in your connection. I mean, I'm about to see it again, honey. Let's show that. Okay, let's see that death, please. In the obstacles. Show me that death, please. If transformation is willing to take place on both sides, even death is negotiable, you know. I think you two needed a couple times and a couple of passes to kind of work your kinks out. And I don't mean kinks as in sexual, but for some of you that might be literal. I don't know. I'm not judging. Show me death, please. 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 Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, the Empress. Listen, that I see. That's what I'm saying. We're talking about a leveling up effect. Very good. I know it looks so easy, right? Because I'm putting down, you know, cards and stuff. You know, we had to get out of our thinking mode and more into a heart space mode, and we have to emotionally know that we want it. So I'm saying that Queen of Cups, if you can believe it, is you. I am. That resistance element I saw back here, again, not an accusation, so don't take it as one. You already opened up with some beautiful energy. You can achieve that at the emotional level too. Okay? There you go. So, and especially if you're that person who thinks your fire's gotten you into trouble, and that's where you put all your work into it, in terms of mastering that passion, understanding that passion is neither bad nor good, it's what we do with it. Okay? So you put all that beautiful work into your natural elemental self. The same can be said of your heart space. Okay, so this is where I saw that Queen of Cups being like, oh hell no, I'm terrified to develop feelings. I'm absolutely, I'm going to resist it. And this is what was shared. Okay, I'm seeing that same Queen of Cups who is leveling up over a transformative period. Queen of Swords, Queen of Cups, and the Empress. And I'm sure, like I said, you both had work to do. You both had work to do. That's a lot of transformation, but it's beautiful. In them too, no doubt. Let's see that Fool. Let's see that Fool, please, and opening up. Show me that. Not quite done with that. I just feel that. Show me that Fool, please. That's the Hierophant. Temperance here. Again, the Ten of Swords. Okay, I see the... Yeah, here it is. You're both opening up. It's beautiful. You're just showing me repetition at this point, and that's fine. As long as it's consistent, that's all that matters. They've already showed me the Ten of Swords. They're healing with it with you. Temperance is here so many times it's not even funny. Healing, 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 and it's more than that. It's sexual healing. It's emotional healing. Okay, so Temperance has a blanket coverage of all of those respects. You two are... How can I put this? You two are doing a lot of healing. And you're doing a lot of healing with this person. Like, so much healing. Like, a lot of healing. It looks like good healing, too, honey. Yeah, all that pain's going away. Yeah. Somebody's digging that with the Hierophant. It's like, yeah, that's legit. Yes, that spiritual. It's like, this feels really good. Let's heal some more. Yeah. Yeah, you two are going to do so much healing. It's all totally spiritual. It's all totally spiritual healing. I can see things differently than you guys can. Trust me. Lots of healing. So much healing. Okay. Just so much healing. You two are bonding quite a bit over your healing. Yay. Okay. There's something I'm not quite satisfied with here on death, and since we're doing decent time. Transformative effects. Stepping into... Okay. King of Wands, Seven of Wands, King of Wands. There's your energy being kept at bay. Slow growth, development, 7 and 7, the Lovers. Okay, I knew I was going to see it. I knew it! There you are again with the King of Wands. We got 2 7 and 7 placements, 7 of Wands to 7 of Pentacles. There was always this... Such a strong connection here with the Lovers. Gosh. It was such a steady, slow growth. You had to temper your passion for this person a lot, even though it's not in your natural inclination. Your natural inclination is to go towards what you feel the most warmth about, okay, the most passionate about, but you had to temper yourself towards this person's energy. And I can see why. If you resisted your emotions, but they are emotions forward, they therefore resisted their passion towards you, okay. And this was a slow, steady growth that challenged you and challenged you and challenged you. This is what I was looking for, because I'm like, that's a hell of a transformation. I respect that. That's cool. There's parts of ourselves that had to die, right? That Queen of Swords who was trying to override your Queen of Cups. This is what I feel. And your Queen of Swords is like, hell no, you don't. Let's overthink that shit. And then we have the Empress who doesn't pay attention to any of that shit because she's so far above it, right? She's true self-empowerment, and in sexual tarot, she understands who her energy is for exclusively, and that's why she's so uninhibited, is because she's not bothered by any of it, right? So that's true sexual self-empowerment is with the Empress. You can't get bigger than that in tarot. Oh. Anyway, this is what I was looking for in the interim. This is why I wasn't satisfied with that explanation. I'm like, that's cool, but I need to see more of the process so I can understand it. So there you are again with that King of Wands. And as in touch as you can fire, this person taught you temperance over and over again. You had to keep your fire in check. You had to keep your fire in check. You almost, in a real respect, honey, had to grow into your lover's energy. And that's a lot of growth. And it took time. Don't get me wrong. It took time, honey. It took time to grow into your lover's energy. But it did. It was rough. It was a rough transformation. But I think you wanted to grow more. And that's what a true lover's connection does, by the way. I'm going to have to say this till I die. That way people understand it. The whole point of the Lovers is like, well, they have to do this. They have to do that. No. Change the language. I have to do this so I can have them. Okay? When it comes to the Lovers, we can't afford to be selfish. You would think it's like, well, this is what I get to enjoy. Yum, yum, yum. And it is yum, yum, yum. If you earn it. The Lovers is our greatest reward and also therefore our greatest challenge. It forces us to change if we want to keep it. It forces them to change if they want to keep you. It's a two-way street. It's not one-sided ever. You had lessons, so did they. You had a rough growth period, no doubt they did too. Okay? And you know what that particular lesson was? Oh, I'm sure it's here. You know, it's here for them, but it's concentrating on you, honey. It's your reading. You really had to grow into your particular's lover's energy. It's like, I know my passion's beautiful, but there's part of your emotionality that always lagged behind. And it's that question of, because I can't see it, why would I go towards it? But again, you could apply that same logic to your passion. You see what I'm saying? All right? I know that you're much more comfortable with this as opposed to this, but it was just as real and valid as anything else. It was just many, many steps behind you. And that's what they needed you to grow into, was your emotions, and therefore they can grow into what you need in terms of fire. Okay? Does that make sense? It should. It's all here. Anyway, like I said, you two are just healing so much in the future. Speaking of future, let's talk about it. When does I like this. This is beautiful. That Wheel of Fortune says, if you guys put in the pages and the necessary work to get reacquainted, to have the mental and emotional conversations that you need, that's when you can start exchanging energies better, more fully. And then if you keep at it, look at that promise. Look at that payout, honey. Okay. Don't go back on what you've learned, I suppose is the point. Let's see. When do I get these pages, please? When do they start kicking in? Not anytime soon for some of you. Well, I know that doesn't sound attractive, but there you are. For some of you that it's not, and for others of you it just started all over again. Not all over again, it's different this time. July, and for others of you, not till the next couple of months. Okay. Okay, and try not to go into waiting. The time will be right when the time is right. That Wheel of Fortune is going real slow to turn, but then so is the development. Okay, and then so is the development. How soon something happens depends on one's readiness. Really. That's it, really. I mean, I do time checks out of courtesy, but the fact of the matter is things happen when they're supposed to. So for some of you, it started, re-engaged last July. Others of you, not until the next couple of months. And for others of you, the more we delay on our progress, the longer this is going to take. It's going to keep stretching out. Okay. Show me this. Since there's clearly a couple of endings here between you two, okay. We're going to go ahead and do some messages of closure with the Hidden Truth Oracle. I combined it. I don't use it too often because it's a little too generic, but there you go. Sometimes when I see endings like this, I think it's appropriate. I lived my life through you. Somebody here thought the other person's just tops. It's just amazing. And being connected to them made us want to achieve more, and to it's kind of like, man, I wish I could do what they did. And that's why we kind of attracted to them in the first place, or got attached to them in the first place. It's like, man, look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. Aren't they amazing? Man, I want to be like that. I don't know where that's energy coming from. Them, they, you, them. I don't know. But it's kind of like somebody here. It's like I see the inspiration through you and I want to adopt it for myself. And others are like, I'm so proud of you, of the work that you have accomplished, or the things that you have managed to do, things that you have managed to overcome. Somebody might have literally said, I'm so proud of you. Excellent work. I love what you do and how you do it. How can I help you? This person, somebody here offered help before. And you will get through this. I wish you love and happiness. So when somebody here, and I believe it was them, parted ways with you at some point, it's a couple here. They said, I wish you nothing. I love you and I wish you nothing but happiness. Good luck. There's nothing you can't do. Okay. Ancestors, I look everywhere for you. We will be together again. Yeah, I saw that. I thinked it. I thinked it. That Wheel of Fortune might be turning real slow, but it is in fact opening back up in this particular direction. And look at that payout. It's stable as hell. We will be together again. I believe it. I look everywhere for you, so you two are close. Even, I believe you are. The foundation principles suggest proximity, but even if you're far apart, you know that feeling when you're looking for somebody and you don't mean to look for them, but you're like, oh, that person looks like them, and that kind of thing. Yeah, I know. Okay. Yep. Truth. Yeah, I know. I did see that. This person has a lot of, I need some truths here. And for some of you, the 22nd might be important. Truths about our sexual energy, truths about our emotionality, truth about our intimacy, triumph. And it's like, that's that concept of being chosen. So here we have a female figure who has her choice of giving the apple to anyone whom she chooses. And she chose a particular guy here, and that's his triumph. It's not that it's hers, it's his triumph. So it's that feeling of being chosen, that I am unique, I am chosen by this particular person. And it's like this person, she would bear fruit with him. In other words, she would feed him, her body, her soul, her passion, that kind of thing. So it's exclusivity. So there's a certain level of triumph here and truth. And knowing that person selected you, or that you selected them, there's a certain sense of triumph knowing that I'm that person's person. See what I'm saying? It's coming from that point of view of, I know that they chose me. And that feels really fucking good. Even if it was once upon a time, knowing that they did feels really good. This person, this whoever chose me. And that feels really fucking good. That's somebody's particular truth. And nostalgia. So there's that 6 of Cups energy for some of you, and also the 26th of what month could be important. Why? I don't know. But yeah, nostalgia. There's that sense of 6 of Cups, the memories shared, the particular bonding, the uniqueness between these two people. Okay. I just recently replaced this one. of learning. Finances and career, for some of you, finances and career came into be as a factor in this particular situation. Why? I don't know. But yeah, finances and career for some of you might have affected this. For some of you, we had emotional trust issues based on previous marriages and or very intense relationships that didn't work out. So a part of us is always withholding our emotional selves, even though you're quite in touch with your fire. And for some of you, you know, that's another reason why I was over here looking at death with these three prominent figures. I'm going to go ahead and stand as is with that interpretation. That it is transformative for one person to really up their ante and allow their heart more to explore as opposed to, say, just their mental side. But yes, for somebody here, they were in or continue to be in, and that might also explain why I'm seeing a delayed time factor, that somebody is still caught up in official obligations, even if they're not married, but still contractually obligated financially to someone else. That could be anything from family and friends or dependents. That could also be playing into this. So again, we have to remember weddings, the contract and or the Hierophant energy. And, you know, it's like now's not a good time because I still have this going on, or this is still being cleared up, or this was a delay in previous situations that you had with this person. Okay. All right, Leo, honey, I hoped, going back to that, it could be in one of these prominent figures. I'm saying that there could be an ending here with somebody else. Okay, that's reality. I can't say that that's not a possibility. It's one of the reasons why I hesitated. Okay, one of the reasons why I clarified further. So I still stand by my transformative interpretation. But yes, for some of you, yes, there is one of the figures that is exiting. One of these. Especially if that's true. Okay? Okay. I hope this helped you. You put in the comments as you see fit. Congratulations to the both of you. The Wheel of Fortune's slow. So is the situation. But oh my goodness, when it's time for you two to heal, you're aggressive healers. The both of you. It's a lot of healing. Sexual healing. Take care. Be well.